All right, welcome everybody. If you're watching live with me right now, great to have you here. I see a lot of people in the chat are just joining. Great to have you guys here. If you're watching on the recording, good to have you whenever it might happen to be for you. We're going to be picking up with the Elizabeth of the Highlands. This is part of our Civ Fridays. This is part 5. It is actually not a Friday. Today is Labor Day as I record this. So with me having the day off work here in the US, I am using some of this time to stream. We're probably not going to go as long today as we've gone on some of the other sessions. I'm going to shoot for 2 to 3 hours in that range, and we'll see how far we get. So as a catch-up for what we did last time, we used the last stream to start attacking the Khmer in earnest. The previous stream, part 3, we defended against a Khmer attack. And then in the last stream, we went on the offensive, and we have taken over probably about 2/3 of the Khmer territory so far. The former border was like right here, like this was the border like right here. So Twin Peaks was the first city captured, and then we came down here and grabbed these ones. Watt Pass, Isengard, the Shire, Oxford, Sydney-on-Sea, and now we're preparing to take the remaining cities. These ones are going to be under a lot of Babylonian culture, so we'll have to be careful that they don't culture flip away, but let's try and capture them first. Obviously, we want to finish off Suryavarman completely because that will remove all of the Khmer culture. Like you see how this right now is 99% Khmer. If the Khmer are completely eliminated, that'll disappear, and we'll lose the... See how it has, we yearn to join the motherland unhappiness? That'll disappear. So unfortunately, Civ 4 kind of promotes genocide in that way because you get a big bonus if you completely wipe out an enemy civilization, which is unfortunate, but due to the way the cultural system works, that's kind of what we have in the game. So anyway, we're pushing on this next city, which, by the way, apparently doesn't have any walls at all, so we might not even need this siege stack, but we'll get to that. We'll just see what develops. So off we go. A windmill was... All right, so apparently we have spies pillaging windmills, which we can just instantly repair. Anyway, so we've unlocked steam power for levies. So here's what I think we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to research assembly line right now, unlock factories, also unlock infantry. And then as soon as we finish assembly line, I'm going to pop the Golden Age, and we'll use the Golden Age to build the factories, the coal plants, and then we'll use the Golden Age also to reach communism and flip into state property. And that's the plan right there. It'll also help us finish Statue of Liberty as well in the capital. So I'm actually going to stop, finally, the cav train. We're pretty much at the end of this war, so I'm now finally going to stop the endless cavalry train. And we're going to... First of all, start with the levee. We'll probably go levee, factory, coal plant, and then we'll go on. Then we'll knock out all the delayed infrastructure here. Levees are really, really powerful. You're just limited in where you can actually build them because the city has to be on a river. Like this city here, No Escape, does not qualify. It is not on a river, unfortunately, which is too bad. So what did we have? We lost a windmill and a cottage. Okay. Well, guess what? We're just going to replace that. Oh, and where's our coal sources? Let's see. Coal at Helm's Deep, coal at Lymagrad. We're going to want to mine that because it's got a windmill on it. Oh, hey, and that's, I guess we're not going to take that city. That was captured by Babylon. Interesting. So yeah, Babylon is also at war. Okay. If that's so, we can't see it right now. Hold on, let's get visibility on that. We'll trade for his map. All right, that gives us a little bit more vision. That's a shame because that's a pretty good city. But in any case, we can always road here, here, here. We can always like road this way to get down to these cities. We do have open borders with Hammurabi as well. Okay. All right, so I'm going to send back here to mine this tile, since it has a resource on it. You guys can just re-windmill this tile. And you, I guess... Do we need more food in this spot, city? I'm trying to figure out. No, because we've got the seafood resource back here. This is actually a really good city, by the way. Watt Pass. Quite strong. I'm just trying to see. I do not want to work that tile. That's a very weak tile. Yeah, this looks good. Nice looking city here. But no, we don't need to. We can re-cottage this. We could also kill Hammurabi. I mean, maybe. We'll see. We have okay relations with him. Cautious. Not great, not terrible. What am I doing with my espionage? All right, I'll go into Huayna for the moment. Where is he on the tech tree would kind of be the question. Like, as far as Hammurabi goes. Ooh, he is not close to... You know, we might want to think about just continuing on the crusade into his territory. He is not very strong when it comes to military tech. Anyway, we'll think about it. But for the time being, let's move forward. So I want to use my sentry unit first. Oh yeah, wow, there is not much defending that, is there? Send the calves forward. The one thing about the military campaigns, though, is they do take a lot of time. Like, there is such a thing as a significant real-world time. Oops. Forgot that there's a... You should get back here and heal. Like, I do not have unlimited time for the stream, is the one thing. But we'll see. Alright, so yeah, this is the one guy I have back here. Where are we on the market? Not ready to whip yet. So we were looking at... We wanted to get one more point of food into this city. I should probably windmill one of these tiles, just so it's not city's not starving. It's not a health issue, there's just literally not enough food to support the city. So let's do that. You get over here and you can windmill one of them. You want to windmill the tile next to the river because there's a bonus for that. Commerce bonus for that. I do plan on going to free religion eventually. Actually, you can just rest up in that city for the time being. This is where my great general medic unit is right now. Is in this city. You should be on this tile because that way you're on a road for when this city falls. This city's going to fall next turn. I'm just going to bum rush it with calves. As we've already seen, longbows cannot stand up to cavalry. Not even a little bit. Alright, you guys can just kind of hang out here for the time being. Not a lot for them to do. Isengard has 2 red coats. It probably only needs 1. No, never mind. It does just have 1. Alright, you keep rolling forward for right now. Captured the close city, raised the last 2 commerce cities. No, these are good. This is good. Well, we'll see. Let's see how much culture there is over there. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I need to move workers over to Gibraltar. That's what those workers were standing around for, was to get over here to windmill that tile. See, because I'm almost out of tiles here. I was also curious how close I was to getting back some of these tiles. It doesn't look like I'm really that close, unfortunately. Even though I'm putting quite a bit of culture. Let me see. I can check the actual culture on the tile. So I have 4,500 culture and Huayna is 4,900, so I guess I'm not all that close. I should be closing the gap somewhat, though. Yeah, because this city only is at 60% culture, and this Old Town Road's also at 60% culture, and it's second ring for me versus third ring for him. And I also have another city, Poach, putting culture on this tile too. Let's see what the gap is. The gap's about 400. Let's see what I do in terms of making up. I guess I'll run 100% this turn too, in terms of making up ground on that tile. I've just been cranking out red coats from this. Probably still the best thing to do out of that city. Alright, and you, Twin Peaks, you are another production city. You don't have much commerce potential, because there's literally no food bonuses here. No way to get a food bonus, so I've just irrigated up to +5 food. Alright, in that case, just do the standard stuff that you would do for a production city. Should be getting a courthouse next, and then like a barracks. Yeah, trying to put globe and poached, although I'm already at the point in time where that's not as valuable. Alright, let's see, 400. I actually feel like I'm losing ground in this. Boy, Corey must have a ridiculous amount of culture in it if I'm like losing ground to that city. Is that on the, like the top? Yeah, it's listed as like one of the top cities in the world for culture. Must be getting a ridiculous amount of culture if I'm still not catching up there. But anyway. Oh wait, no, galleons can carry 3 units, not 2. I forgot. Alright. Look at those workers. Animation can't quite keep up. Alright, so let's go take this city. There is a longbow, a mace, a sword, a catapult. Yeah, there's not much there to stop an attack from succeeding. Only 71% odds, because again, we are not, we did not reduce the defenses at all, but we don't really need to. Oh, that was a long animation. That was also a city garrison too, longbow, unfortunately. 73% versus 75%. Unfortunately, that was a unit that had 16 XP. Alright, so we should easily win the remaining battles. So the remaining battles are just who do we want to give XP to, basically. Yeah, we have plenty of cavalry. Like, obviously I would prefer the unit not die, but it's not the end of the world if, like, 1 cav dies to take a city. And then this is just who do we want to give XP to, basically. We'll give it to our sentry guy. Apparently the catapult managed to get 1 hit in. Forge and market, that's not bad as far as what survived. Also, we need to rename the... You guys, we need a suggested rename here. Alright. Mos Eisley. It is next to an oasis. Mistro. And I'm going to need workers to road over these mountains. Grab a couple of them and head down there. Sandstorm. I actually like Sandstorm more. Darude. Darude Sandstorm. Not a bad city because of the cattle resource. Not great or anything, but not terrible. The city spacing's a little weird here. There's like some wasted tiles in between these cities, but... Alright, so let's see what we can do in terms of pushing units further forward. This unit, unfortunately, move him in here for healing. Okay, now you're full strength, so you can go 1, 2, 2, 2. I think this is as far forward as I can get this turn. Oh, well, this is nice. I can move here, here, here. Or just onto this tile. Now that city is on a hill and has walls, so I think I'm going to need the siege stack for that. Got an awful lot of redcoats up here, don't I? Let's peel one redcoat off to defend the city. And then the rest can keep moving forward. But this is one case where I probably do need to wait for the siege units because it's going to be too difficult attacking up onto a hill. The Cavs might be able to take Anastasi, though, in the meantime. Like, they might be able to take that and then swing down while the siege is still slowly walking forward. Got that huge stack slowly moving forward. Fair point. How big is Hammurabi's stack? Not terribly impressive. Something we could kill very easily if we needed to. So we converted Oxford. I think we have a missionary going to Sydney-on-Sea. Send this one to Sandstorm. Alright. Oh, we gotta check what... I don't want a spy specialist. Alright, so this city is going to starve a pot point. There's nothing I can do about that, but it'll expand borders the following turn. Like, I guess we put a cottage on this tile, although that's not very... well, no. That's a waste of time. What we want to do is we want to bring irrigation up here. Like, from this oasis here, here, here. I guess we might as well, like, road this tile in the meantime while we're waiting for borders to expand down there. Have I been watching Chernobyl? No. Although I heard that people said it was a good good series. Oh, do we not have a... Oh, we have a red coat in there. Alright. Yeah. I do want one defender in these cities. Just to prevent unhappiness, if nothing else. Alright, so everything there should be... Well, actually, I need to keep this guy here for one more turn, and then move forward to Sandstorm next turn. So hang out here for the time being, Bernard. So there's a couple cabs in here that are still healing. Let's get the ones that are full strength, though. I think the ones that are green are all full strength. Yep. Heal them up and move them forward. Woo! So you know that like weird blurring effect that you just saw right there? That was actually a bug, but it was so cool looking that in development we just decided, yeah, let's just keep it in the game because it looks really cool. But that was originally a bug in development. At some point it'll be good to reconnect the ivory. Well, unfortunately I can't do that until it's within my borders. It's a good point, but you can only build improvements that are within your culture. You can chop outside your cultural borders. You don't get any credit for it, but you can chop like in neutral territory. You can build roads in neutral territory, but I can't build it unless it's within my territory. Good point. I'm just explaining. All right, so let's go through our cities, do a quick check for what needs to be whipped where. Almost. Fishy's close. Endeavor, we're not whipping. Desert Oasis should, can it build a levee? Oh, it can. Very nice. Cancel the security bureau in favor of the levee. Should have done that last turn. With the levee, all of these water tiles are gonna, or all these riverside tiles will gain an extra production. So it's gonna add like, what, like 6 or 7 production to the city? Very nice. Alright, this looks good here. This city should also build a levee, but it's not quite ready yet. Looks like I did a lot of whipping a few turns ago. This city could use a levee too. More important than the jail. Ooh, very expensive. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll try to get it finished. Alright, so the observatory should definitely be whipped. Then it's probably time to work on Globe. Normally I wouldn't necessarily pick the engineer specialist, but this city definitely needs the production. It does not have much in the way of production here. High food, but low production. Alright, great. We'll use that. Then we'll overflow probably onto the levee. Old Town Road has almost recovered from its many, many, many whippings. Alright, this city just... Yeah, all right. Twin Peaks is new. Oh, perfect time to whip the forge. It'll regrow immediately. And then we'll get that bonus production on future builds here. We can whip off this tile, which is a terrible tile. So, well, no, let's save the population for something more significant. One pop whips are not that significant. All right. Desert Oasis is a really, really good city. Like I said, I want to get the levee in here, and then then I'll probably get to go levee, factory, coal plant, and then as soon as that's done, we will build Wall Street here. Just because we don't have a shrine city, so it's probably the best place to put Wall Street. Oh, anyway, here comes the rest of the units. So we said wanted to try to do globe. The problem is there's like no the city just has no production capacity right now. I might need to whip out the factory first. Still has that draft unhappiness, but only for one more turn. Draft unhappiness is almost gone. Alright, you need to do... Oh, this actually can't build a levee. I guess it's not technically on the river, just next to it. Well, that's too bad. Do the market then. See, if I was the Dutch, I could build a dike here, and all the water tiles would get another production point. But no, we'll do the courthouse instead. Look at that maintenance cost there. Definitely needs a courthouse. Alright, you are still doing your basic infrastructure. Library next. It's very cheap. This looks pretty good. Well, I think I would prefer you to work that cottage, even though it is still a very immature cottage. So we've got the forge, theater grocer. Next thing would be to get a library. Again, a cheap build. You are very unhappy, but not for much longer. Desert Oasis, if I were to... Yeah, you're right. This is another tile that will have to be improved. It was just very low down the scale. Oh, wait, no, this one. You're right. These ones right here. That's right. Desert Oasis still can improve these tiles here. I'm going to have to slip a worker over because we're about to hit the point where... Yeah, and they actually can both be mined. There's enough food to support mines on them. I actually have not settled a merchant in a city. That was something the AI did. This is a captured city. I would not have done that personally, but I was fortunate enough to capture a city that had a super specialist in it. Good question. We love the blah blah blah. You don't pay maintenance costs in the city for that particular turn. It's a concept that's left over from earlier versions of Civ. It doesn't really serve much of a point in Civ 4. It probably should have just been cut from Civ 4. So like there's a guy building a windmill here. I'll move him over as soon as he's done with that. Suryavarman does not have a holy city with shrine. He does not. Good question. Alright, so we can get a pretty good view of what's going on here. Not much in that city. I'm going to move towards Anastasi right now. Just keep in mind it's going to take a little while for most of these calves to get over there. Not all of them are as fast as this dude who's out in front. It's like, here comes the cavalry, quite literally. Pre-Rupp is a really weird name, too. Alright, so we've got all the redcoats in siege moving forward. So they'll be able to move onto that tile next turn, and then there. So here we have to, as we said, we have to get one more food here. So we'll just windmill one of the hill tiles. And that way we'll actually get the financial bonus from that tile. Alright, so we just unloaded all of them. I'm going to move one here to road that tile, and the other one's here to cottage. Just hang out here for the time being. So that's the one thing about this game is when you get into the later stages, particularly on larger maps, you spend most of the game just fiddling with logistics, which can be kind of tedious and time consuming. That's really the biggest argument against doing like more fighting in this game is it takes a long time in real world time. All right, how many of these guys are full health? Are all of them full health? No, not all of them. And like this game's in the mopping up stage already. Alright, so all the guys who are healthy move forward. You heal. Oh, we can actually get the Combat 4 guy. Nice. Well, we'll see. See if I need to give him another promotion, but getting up to Combat 4 is pretty sweet. Yep, that's why I'm kind of more interested in like speeding this game along as opposed to like, hey, let's spend 6 hours taking over Babylon. It's like, sure, we could do that. But like we've already seen me run over someone using rifles and calves. To me, it's a little bit questionable as to how valuable that actually would be at this point, to seeing the same thing again. Like, could I kill this stack? Yes, very easily. But I'm not sure like there's a lot to gain from it, if that makes sense. There's actually still a goodie hut down here, it looks like. So I'm trying to road these tiles, basically. I have more than enough territory to win the game right now. Have you rode that? Oh, it's already roaded. Never mind. I didn't think it was. Not having the real-time cost, yeah. Getting to see the endgame wars in a reasonable time frame. Oh yeah. Maybe we can peel off this red coat and have him come down here to deal with that barbed archer. That is pretty funny, though. Okay, so the AI just ran its guys in a little circle there. Alrighty, let's get that library up next. Play has difficulty higher. Stop the war. I think we need to See, the problem is the AI is probably going to vote in... You know how the AI always votes in favor of these kind of things? Apostolic Palace. We have like 0 votes in the Apostolic Palace. I'm going to say never. I'll just accept the unhappiness if it's going to go through. Hopefully it won't. So I must have taken one... The Apostolic Palace religion is Buddhism. I must have one Buddhist city somewhere on this map. One, here it is, right here, No Escape. If No Escape wasn't Buddhist, then I wouldn't have... I wouldn't be subject to that resolution. It's really obnoxious. Apostolic Palace, so obnoxious. Okay, well, that's... There's no walls there, but I'm probably still not cracking that. Not immediately. Just because they've got the Ballista Elephant. Oh, wow. Very nicely promoted Ballista Elephant, too. There is no escape from the Apostolic Palace. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, I can take that city next turn. Alright, so we managed to hook up that resource. And you, I'm going to bring down to a more relevant task, which is helping out here at Desert Oasis. I'll pair up these two and have them mine those. Worst idea, Apostolic Palace or Vassal States. Vassal States are worse, I think. So I already have one going to Sandstorm. Is there a missionary going to Sydney-on-Sea? Let me just check to see where the Confucian missionaries are right now. There's one right around here. Alright, no, I don't think there's one going to Sydney-on-Sea right now. There's one going here. Where are my other missionaries? Alright, nope, there's none going to Sydney-on-Sea, so you go there. Wait, did I just... Alright. You go to Sydney-on-Sea. Okay. Oh, hey, the Shire came out of resistance, and it's... Yeah, it definitely needs to expand its borders. really, really badly. At least it has a lighthouse, though, so it'll only starve 1 pop point. I did play Civ Call to Power. Will the world consider you a villain, Anger? Yeah, it only lasts for 10 turns. Fortunately, it doesn't last forever. I actually have quite a bit of happiness. It's health that's more in short order for me. All right. I guess a couple of these guys were left out of the big group. All right, I mean, that's a lot of calves, so... Here's the big siege stack, protected by the redcoats. So, what do I need to do here at this city? All right, well, first of all, let's get you onto some tiles that don't suck. There we go. It's still low on food here. Might as well... No, let's finish the theater. That's more important. I'll probably swap off that after... Oh, you know what? We can work the floodplains tile, though. At least until Oxford comes out of resistance next turn. Then we can reassign this tiles again. You guys, though, I want to bring irrigation up here. So I'm just going to position you there ahead of time for next turn. Are these guys all full health? Yep. So yeah, we're just trying to finish off Suryavarman as quickly as possible right now. Oh, and here's our sentry guy. If we're curious about where Hammurabi is in comparison to us on the power progress, we are now #1 by a wide margin. Well, not a wide margin, but a pretty good margin. You can see the disastrous falling of Suryavarman's power. And I guess we can see everyone now. Do we finally have enough demos to see Huayna Capac? Yeah, finally. Alright, so let's do this. I don't want any going into Suryavarman because he's about to die, but I'll just put them evenly on everyone else. Alright, so everybody was full health there, so let's move the Great General Knight forward. You know, should be pretty well protected on that tile. Alright, 2 turns to assembly line. Can we see diplomatic relations? Absolutely. Some people have scientific method. That's what we're going to go for next. So you can see my diplomatic relations aren't great, is part of the issue. There is some concern about diplomatic victory in the United Nations, but as soon as I go free religion, my relations will improve a lot. So I'm probably going to do that, is go into free religion. Like, I'm getting upset you're under the sway of a heathen religion from a lot of these, from almost everybody. Everybody except Ahsoka. Ahsoka would be my opponent in a UN vote, and unfortunately he's quite popular with basically everybody. Like, look, everybody seems to love him. Of course, part of that's because they're getting these giant, you have wisely chosen your civics. See, he's running hereditary rule, and like all of these guys have hereditary rule as their favorite civic. Ahsoka is not going to be in hereditary rule for the whole game. He will switch to something eventually. So then they'll lose that that modifier. And I would actually get a big modifier with him if I went free religion. But yeah, Ahsoka's the only one in free religion. Alright, we need the granary here next. Oh, it failed. Nice. So it ended up... Or it only failed because I defied it. They all voted yes, as we well know from AI Survivor. Of course they all voted yes. But fortunately I was able to get out of that. Alright. We'll start with the attack as usual. Alright. Move everybody up here. Alright, so how many calves do we have here? Quite a lot. Ballista Elephant's top defender. They're actually an injured Ballista Elephant. I wonder if this city's being attacked. Let's see if I can get someone who has the formation promotion. I could promote this guy with... Well, no, I can't, because he's not combat 2. Anyone other than... There's one guy at the very top. Alright, I guess this guy could. Oh, but now he doesn't fight the... Alright, well, we'll take the 88% odds then. Yeah, combat 2 formation elephant, a very tough customer. I expect that I'll have to lose somebody to kill that unit. The other units... Well, 75% odds. I mean, again, calves... If you just promote calves down the combat line, their base strength is so high at 15. Like, I'm getting another 30% strength off that. So this guy's like 19.5. So even though this elephant has like combat 2 formation, because his base strength is only 8, like, it only helps so much. Alright, well, so much for that guy. He died really easily. Not quite as tough as I thought he would be. Alright, so that's the guy I just attacked with. Alright, I could promote this guy, but that would only get me combat 2, same as this guy, 85. Alright, well, you know, these battles are honestly better odds than I thought I was going to get for a lot of these. No, that wasn't a flawless win. Did take some hits. Alright. Do I have a combat 2? Alright, so I'll take that combat 2. Alright, notice how this one's 94%. That means that this longbow does not have the fortification bonus. So it must not have been fortified for more than a turn or two. And this guy's a combat 2 for some reason. Or combat 1 longbow, which is not a promotion that makes a lot of sense. Although, to be fair, I have a combat 1 longbow as well, because I used it for attacking. Alright, and now we've got, like, the... Who do we want to give free XP to? So anybody who's, like, 1 away from a promotion? You're 1 away from a promotion. You take the 99% and get a promotion. Now this is a flawless win. Oh, so we need a name. We need a name for this city, too. This is a former Barb city. Oh, no infrastructure at all. Well, it has good terrain, so... There's a decent chance this is going to be swallowed up by enemy culture, so, because Hyderabad's culture, let's see, where does Hyderabad's culture extend out to? Ahsoka, oh, not that much. There's no, okay, so not as bad as I thought, actually. Actually, no, this city should be okay. I thought that it would be pushed on by Indian culture, but apparently Hyderabad's culture doesn't extend that far. Yeah. Huh, surprisingly weak culture in that city. Anyway. So let's get the guys who... Let's get some guys onto this tile to attack that city next turn. The injured ones I will move here. I should also grab that worker because... Or with somebody who has 2 movement points. You grab the Winnie and Pooh Bear. Take the worker. Alright, now he's my worker. Look at me, I'm the worker now. Alright, it's like you should go in there to heal. You're full health, so be in position to attack. You're full health. I think the music in Civ 4 is quite good. Both the original compositions and some of the like classical works that were that are like public domain, so anyone can use them. Alright, so I think we have more than sufficient strength to attack and take this city next turn. And we even have our siege units in position to help out. I'll just keep the calves together. Well, I should have a cav on that tile, probably. Don't worry, the Great General Knight's not going to defend. There's redcoats who will defend first. I'm not worried about these workers getting captured, by the way. I don't think I need to road that tile, but whatever, I will, just because I can. How much food does the city have? not a ton, but by the same token, it's not going to need more. I'm trying to think if I want a windmill or... I guess I'll mine. Just because it's about to hit, like, the food cap. Alright, you guys are going to come down here and mine these for Desert Oasis. Be quite good with that levee. Alright, so Oxford's come out of resistance now. Actually, instead of farming that tile, how about you watermill this tile? That's a better tile anyway. That'll be quite good, because we're not far away from state property right now. All those state property watermills make for really, really nice tiles. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so you've got... You need to expand your borders. So what can we do to get you to pop borders faster? We just need more production in here. Not a lot of high... Actually, there's like no tiles at all that have production. They're all in the second ring. So I can do this. I can get that. That gets you to 7. Well, I don't actually want to starve the city, so I guess that's about as good as I can do for the time being. And I'll just have to pop the borders in 2 turns instead of 1. This worker is still just chilling, waiting for Sandstorm to come out of resistance. I should only need 2 workers to road this, but I'm going to put a 3rd on just in case. Then I'm going to cover it with a cav just to make sure that they don't die to some random wandering unit. So this should be the end of the campaign that started so long ago when Suryavarman tried to attack at Old Town Road and poached, and we've chased him all the way back. Running a specialist there. Alright, well we need to go through our cities anyway, because some of them are ready to be whipped. This city's ready to be whipped for that observatory. And then we can go right on to factory next turn. Hate whipping off those cottages, but it'll grow back. We're almost done with slavery too, by the way. We're not going to be in slavery for much longer. Once you build factories, like once you have factory power plant, it's better typically just to build things naturally than it is to whip for production, generally speaking. I know you want to work these tiles because they have the production, but those cottages are better tiles. Alright, same thing. Work the cottages, they're really good tiles. You need to grow a little bit further before I can make that happen. Yeah, we're going to start a whole ton of cities on factories next turn. Also, what the WTF spy specialists, I swear to God. You I just whipped recently. You are finally ready to whip. There we go. Again, a lot of cities going to be going on to factories next turn. I think I'd rather let this city just keep growing. Like, it's got really good native production. And whipping's more effective at cities that have poor natural production. I'm trying to think if I want to let this city grow further. No, we'll crack the whip, and then we'll have it go on to factory next. It'll take it forever, but it can at least get started. This city I just whipped, so it's looking just fine here. Working all the correct tiles, fortunately. Oh yeah, so this city, the only city in my empire that has Buddhism, of course gets the +5, the world considers you a villain. So it's very unhappy. That's fine though. It'll get out from the we yearn to join the motherland and war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Both of those will be gone after next turn. Did I whip this city? No. So let's get the, as usual, it wants to drop these cottage tiles, which are really good tiles. Well, that one's not, but it'll grow in eventually. Normally this would not be worth whipping, but since it's a granary... Oh, I should wait until it's not an empty food box to whip it. We have Granary Lighthouse here. Yes, we do. So theater is not that crucial. We should probably do the library or the forge first. It's too bad that I can't work these water tiles over here. Oh, well. Unless the theater helps me push back against the... Well, yeah, Hammurabi's culture is 658 against my 23. I'm probably not getting those tiles back anytime soon. But the theater will help in that regard, so... The thing is, this city is super low food, so it's probably not good to whip here. Like, it would take a long time to grow back. Oh, and Sydney-on-Sea is out of resistance. Good, it'll pop borders next turn. Excellent. Alright, and that's all the cities that are out of resistance. So did we ever get a name for Anastasi? If you guys put it in chat, I'm afraid I missed it. Did we ever actually get a name for that? We also need a name for Pre-Rup.
People can have the model T in any color, so long as it's black.
Green River. Okay, thanks guys. Thank you for that suggestion. Alright, be prepared for a lot of factories to be suggested here. Factories are awesome. Now, it's a shame I'm not organized. They are very expensive, but once you get them up and running, you have tons of production. Factory plus coal plant can, you know, basically doubles your production. Of course, then we have to worry about all the pollution, too, but we'll deal with that when we get there. And of course, since the factory makes every future production that much faster, it's what you should build before pretty much anything else. Alright, so let's get this golden age started, shall we? So we want one great scientist and we want one great artist. Now, if you want to know what... If you want to make sure that you're getting the correct great people to start the golden age, do this. Take the ones you want, group them together, so you have them grouped together, and then click golden age. So it'll specifically take these two because I've grouped them together. There they go, both celebrating. And it was important that I do that because I don't want to use the merchant. I am not getting very many merchants, so I will probably need this merchant for the 3-person golden age, which I'll be triggering afterwards. Anyway, you come over here. You'll go to one of those 2 cities. All right. Let's get the name while I'm still thinking about it. Green River. It's too bad I didn't manage to capture this city too. Oh well. We'll just need to connect through this this road here. All right. So our siege units finally get to do something. You know, I only used these at a minority of cities, but the ones where I did use them, they did come in handy. So look at, even with all of these, it took 6 trebs and a catapult to get rid of the defenses. And there were no castles. These were just the city walls, not castles. If the AI puts up castles everywhere, it's even more of a nightmare. All right, let's see who gets the best odds to attack. I've got a number of units. I've got a lot of shock units here for whatever reason. So 74% plus retreat chance. Meanwhile, 85%. I'll take the red coat. All right, I was not sure who was going to win that combat. That one was pretty close. The Killing Fields, that's not bad. Killing Fields, or End of the Line, Wrap Up. Those are good suggestions too. Let me think about it. End of the Line, I think, is probably the best out of those, although there's some really good suggestions. So we've got 70%. I think I can do better with the calves. 74%, but with the retreat odds as well. I don't have any Combat 3 units here, unfortunately. Yeah, so I think this is the best I can do. Notice how much harder it is to capture the cities on a hill. I'm kind of lucky that most of the Khmer cities were not on hills. That actually helped a lot. So now we're up to 94% odds. Versus 87, so yeah, take the 94. So now I can use one of those shock units. So that was a flawless win. And I think, here comes Hammurabi's units trickling in. I think I'm going to give the honor of finishing the city to my great General Knight. Only 99.4%, but I'll take those odds. Alright. Yes, install a new governor. What was it? End of the line. Alright. Granary Forge, nice. Good stuff to get in the city. We'll just go straight on factory. Or no, well, we need to build culture first, but then go to factory after that. You want to build culture first, because there's the Khmer civilization. They are gone. You know what? They died before the barbarians, so sucks to be you, Suryavarman. Huh, only 98.9% odds, even though it's an archer. Look at all those bonuses. 75% from tile, 25% from unit fortify, and the first strike. So we're going to go combat 1, just for a little bit of extra safety. This would be so epic if the archer won. What did we get from the hut? The villagers are hostile. I was like, oh, great. But there was no tile for the barbarians to appear on, so they didn't do anything. What did we get from the hut? Oh, we got hostile natives. Alright, so that's it for the Khmer. R.I.P. Khmer. Fortunately, the AIs do not hate me for that. So here's the question. Do we want to swap into anything? I'm going to keep bureaucracy until I finish Statue of Liberty, which is fortunately only 4 turns. As soon as that finishes, I'm going to swap to free speech, because I think I have enough towns to make it worthwhile. And obviously I want to flip to state property as well. So we'll see if we can do that free speech, state property together. And then I probably do need to get into free religion at some point. I might do that on the last turn of the Golden Age, so I can take advantage of organized religion while building factories. But representation we'll stay with. Representation's great. Free speech, the extra culture will be nice too. Mostly for the +2 from town, but representation, free speech. We can stick with slavery a while longer because some of the newer cities need slavery still. State property, and then organized religion while we're building the factories, then free religion for the beaker bonus and for the improved diplomatic situation. Yeah, you can go caste system while you're in a golden age. That's a fair point. I just, honestly, I'm still getting a lot of benefit out of slavery, so I've been sticking with that. Let's put all the injured units here in Green River for healing. I'll move the Great General in there next turn. Oh, this guy almost died. Geez, 0.6. Get him another promotion so he heals faster. Oh, we ended up with... Oh, wait, we captured 4 workers in this. Nice. So we're really not far... As soon as we get communism, I'll go for the physics great scientist if it's available. But then after that, I really want to get railroad, which is a very key tech. And biology, of course, will be nice as well. But honestly, railroad is probably a higher priority than biology for farms. Although there are some low-fu cities that could benefit. So these dudes should basically hang out here for the time being. I'll just build roads for right now until the cities come out of resistance. But I'm going to need them to... I'm going to want some water mills in particular in this area. So we should be able to speed up the turns quite a bit going forward. Let's get all the siege units grouped up together. Since this is my only land frontier with another empire, I do want to keep most of my army down here. Like, the odds of Gilgamesh trying to invade across this body of water are pretty much non-existent. So, yeah. Oh, wait, I had another Treb that didn't fire? Oh, whatever. Here, let me split off like 2 or 3 of these guys up here. And the rest can pile into end of the line. And yeah, I think that this is enough territory. Alright, so all you calves. Let's see who's actually full health. Put most of you in Green River and put the rest in end of the line. I also need to ship 1 redcoat over to Gibraltar, just for safety's sake. I'll take the guy who fought the barbarian and send him up there on a go-to order. How about you actually hang out here for one turn to make sure no barbarians spawn there out of Fog of War. So next goal is build factories. That's the next goal. Get factories up. And then after that, we'll probably be pushing towards spaceship. All right, see you later, Eggman. Yeah, this is these last two cities are very high quality. Lots of floodplains, cottages, and watermills. But now that I won't have to move around the gazillion units every turn, these turns will speed up. I'll definitely go faster. Some of you guys, yeah, I'm going to need some of you to improve Sandstorm. It's about to come out of resistance next turn. Oh, here's that one other worker we captured. Now, the one thing is, Cavs do not upgrade into tanks. They upgrade into gunships. So when I get to tanks at industrialism, I probably will want to crank out some tanks just for safety's sake. All right, let's go through and take a quick look at my cities in Golden Age, because sometimes you need to shift tiles around a little bit for Golden Age purposes. All right, look at Endeavor. This city in Golden Age mode is pretty sweet. Pretty darn sweet. Also, that war wariness will disappear next turn. So yeah, we should be able to go quickly onto factory and then coal plant. It'll take most of the Golden Age to build a lot of these factories. Desert Oasis as well. Seriously, enough with the spy specialist. Jesus Christ. But I will fire that specialist as soon as the hill mine is done. All right, looking good there. Obviously, those windmill tiles are awesome. I can't wait to grow onto them. Looks good. Yeah, now the levee, once it picks up the two gold hill tiles, the levee will actually come along in halfway decent time. That'll get it up to 8 base, which then will get multiplied up to 12 production. So that'll be down to like 12, 13 turns, something like that. Look at this. Yeah, you might as well finish that infantry, but then you can work on the factory. Not bad for a city that is very low production, very low commerce capability, right? Lyon-McGrath has turned into a pretty solid city here. Factory, yep. We should probably do the factory before the market. Let's just slip that in. You're close enough to finishing the market that I'll just let the market finish. Factory. All right, finish the courthouse, factory. Looking good there. Yep. Yeah, finish the library and then you can start the factory. Once again, I'll let it just finish the library because it's very cheap. You need your granary before you do anything else. Fill up the food bar for the granary and then we'll talk. This city might need some worker attention too. Actually, hold on. I'm not even using this tile here. Yeah. That can get shifted down there. And Oxford's going to need some worker improvement too. It's about to pop its borders. Alright, Sydney-on-Sea. This is the first time we've been able to see this city. Wow. This resource tile is like the same as a windmill. Not bad. Alright, so that looks good. It needs to fill up its granary. It actually has an academy here, too. Is it possible to get a 10 commerce tile? I think it is. I believe it is. I think a gold tile with the financial bonus in a golden age. That's a Riverside gold tile. Hold on. Yep, see these are 10 commerce tiles right here. The game can't display it, but if you notice if I hover here, 3 production, 10 commerce. That's the highest you can get, is gold tile, Riverside, plus financial, plus golden age. So 10 commerce. The game does not have a double money bag symbol, but yes, that's the highest. Well said, Speaker. You'll never get Speaker the Lionhearted. I'm still annoyed that they managed to get a great person in the game with your name on it, and I didn't get a great person with my name on it in the game. But Life's like that. Life's not always fair. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, so straight on to factory. Oh, geez, 3 turns. Nice. A lot of overflow there. Base production 51. This is an awfully nice city. So we'll do factory coal plant, and then we'll build the aqueduct to deal with the crippling unhealthiness that we're about to get here in this city. We're going to have to research towards the stuff that provides more health, because this city is going to be... My empire is going to be full of terrible, terrible unhealthiness over the upcoming turns. Beat the developers in a multiplayer game, yep. You and Gaguf. Was there anyone else in that? I know, does Friedrich have someone named after him in this game? I can't remember. Mookie. Oh, Mookie. Okay, well, we know Mookie was the world's best multiplayer guy, so clearly Mookie was definitely the best at multiplayer. Tongue-in-cheek there, of course. Alright, you can go be the defender for Gibraltar up there. Alright, so again, most of you guys are just... Oh wait, what the... I just moved him out of the city. I thought he was in the city and I had it backwards. Alright, so yeah, we're wrapping up the campaign now. Did a good job, slaughtered a whole bunch of Khmer invaders. But at this point we can now wrap it up basically, so that the stream doesn't take 100 hours. Alright, fine. Just alt-click on the stack. Alright, so victory is now food neutral, as you guys suggested. 28 base production, that's pretty good. We'll obviously get more once railroads come on the scene. While this guy is here, I'll have him mine this tile, although I don't think victory's ever going to have enough food to work it. Here's our 1 infantry. We get a new top unit for the AI to fear, although that was actually Civ 3, not Civ 4. I'm going to put him in Fishy McFissy, just in case, for some chance, Gilgamesh would decide to get frisky over there. Do I know Lane Civ 4? No, that's not someone I'm familiar with. I don't recognize that name. Not one of the names I know. Alright, this city definitely needs to expand borders. In particular, we should get some windmills up on those tiles. And while we're waiting for these cities to pop borders, there's more work to be done over here in the Oxford area, so let's get you guys shuffling back. I don't think there's anything useful you can do on this turn, so I'll just eat your turn moving. Also, we can go back to 100% science. Alright, so in the Golden Age, break-even research rates 70%. And we're... wow, we got 2,000 beakers per turn at max rate. That's pretty darn good. I might need another city over here, just so that Hammurabi's culture doesn't eat up this tile. I might need to toss down a city just so I can maintain cultural control, because that tile is 3rd ring for him. It's 3rd ring for end of the line, so I probably can maintain control over that, but Babylon does like to emphasize culture. So, yeah, I might want to get a settler and just toss a throwaway city down here to maintain cultural control. I don't like that this city is blocking passage through my territory, but we'll see about that. In any case, for the time being, you can go chill over here. I mean, we have open borders and all that. Our relations are reasonably good, but you never know. And in the meantime, these guys are literally just roading while they're waiting for the borders to expand. That's a lot of calves. Best unit for military campaigns. Knights, then first horse archers, then knights, then calves. 2 movers. Definitely the way to go in this game. Alright, yeah, you guys are just hanging out, waiting for the border cities to come out of resistance. Looking good here. Civ 5 Citadel. Culture Bomb over here. Culture Bomb might be able to give us control of that tile, that city, because there's very little culture here. Hammurabi barely has any culture here, so could be worthwhile. The problem is he has a lot of culture back here. Like, he has 1,300 back here. I think we could have held that city if we'd been the one to capture it. Anyway, so we're going to try to do the turns a little bit faster right now, just so the game speeds along a little bit faster. Civ 4 has a terrible tendency to slow down as the game goes on. All right, let's check. So does physics still have the great scientist? I believe it does not. It looks like the AI has already claimed it, which is not surprising in the least. Let's see. You can tell if it's still there because it'll say first to discover receives a great scientist. So it is still showing that. So I think they have not... Oh, no, never mind. They have, in fact, discovered it. Hold on. So, like, right here. Yeah, see how if I hover physics, notice how down in the bottom left-hand corner, it does not say first to discover receives a great scientist. It just says can be researched by, which means one of the AIs already claimed the great scientist. Again, we've seen this in AI Survivor. We've seen the AI like just go nuts going after some of these. Like look at Kathy. She doesn't even have education or guilds, but she has physics. It makes no sense whatsoever why she would do that. So yeah, we know the AI likes to beeline. Huayna Capac's the only one who's close to getting rifling. And of course, I already have infantry, so they're way behind in terms of military tech. So we'll just go to communism. No one has that, and we should be able to get the free the great spy as a result. Yep. See how it says first to discover receives a great spy. And where's our oil? I know I saw the pop up. Let's zoom out and see where that is. I missed the pop up, so. Oh. There's a source of oil. That'll be really useful. All right, so boy, I'm glad we conquered over to end of the line. That is the only source of oil in my territory. All this land, and that's the only source of oil, is there, end of the line. So it's a darn good thing we went over there. Otherwise, we would have no oil anywhere in our territory. This has been a really crummy game in terms of resources. Really crummy game. At the start, there were no like the closest horse was over here. And there was no copper at all. This was popped from a mine, so this was not native to the map. I had iron, and that was it. So yeah, like I said, not the greatest from a resource standpoint. So did they finish this? Okay, yeah, they finished that tile. So you guys can work that as a much better tile. And you guys need to road that. So we're going to be back to mostly doing worker movements here. Still a couple more turns to come out of resistance there. Like I said, I doubt I'll have the food to work that tile, but in case I would. Not as bad as my Babylon Always War game, Tro. And then let's move the ship here. Oh, I could have loaded that this turn. Whoops, I could have loaded that. It doesn't really matter. It'll get to Gibraltar just fine, but that was a micro mistake. I could have loaded it that turn. All right, so you guys, how much, now if I chop these forests, I'm trying to think if I chop these forests, this one would be worthwhile to chop. Because I can then mine the tile, but this one I probably don't, so I can lumber mill it. Although, wait a minute, I don't need to lumber mill it. I can just workshop it. I'm trying to think, which is more production? A railroaded lumber mill or a workshop? So the workshop would be... Oh no, it would be more because I'm not going to go into cast system to boost the workshop, so I should lumber mill the tile. Sorry, I just had to think through that for a second. So that'll finish the theater. Yeah, I'm not planning on going into cast system to completely boost the lumber mills. Let's get this camp restored, the one that we pillaged earlier in the war. You can go hang out with your buddies over there. Finish that tile improvement. All right. So what do we have here? All right, so no, definitely do not work that engineer specialist. Then we got a vastly better tile to work here. And this is a better tile to work there. Work that awesome floodplains tile. This oasis, I guess that's okay. Well, no, I want the faster growth. I'm still filling up the food box for that granary there, so I want the faster food. Alright, this city is already working all the tiles it can work here. Same thing, it's growing, filling up its food box. Then we'll get that factory built by working all the hill tiles with the extra production. A lot of these cities just need to fill up their food boxes because they're still new, coming out of resistance. Alright, 2 turns to communism, then we can go into state property. And it'll also synergize with Statue of Liberty finishing in 2 turns. So this lines up really nicely. We drop bureaucracy right when we finish Statue of Liberty. Boy, the AI loves its spies, don't it? Alright, work on the factory. Again, see how having the Golden Age to do factory construction really lines up nicely. Just helps a lot of these cities a ton. So we're going to want to work that tile, that workshop, just so this city gets some production. It'll almost double the production. Well, increase by 50% from 11 up to 11 base up to 16 base. So we'll be going, yeah, I mean, it comes close to doubling it after the modifiers get fed through. All right. Note that this city is now perfectly happy again, even though we have the villain unhappiness from defying the Apostolic Palace. But wait, we can do a factory in 9 turns, and this is going to be a pretty nice city after that's done. So you are probably not going to be able to do a factory anytime soon. This is just kind of a weak city. Very low production. I think the base production, yeah, base production of 2. Well, once you finish growing, we can have you at least work the lumber milled tile. I guess I'll have it start the factory. I'll do the forge first. It's a lot cheaper. That city probably needs irrigation, but I don't know if I have an easy way to get it up there. I'm not willing to bulldoze these cottage tiles just for the Shire, so I think I'm okay with that just being a very weak city. Oh yeah, there was an unreachable oil. Well, you could found a city on it. The only way to connect this oil would be to found a city on it. Unless, I can't remember if putting a fort on that would work. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Further north, past the deep bit. Oh. Well, when we get, if we can get to plastics, I guess we can. I guess we can connect that. Post plastics future. Anyway. So can I build a watermill here too? Yes. So the requirement for watermill is you need to like, you can't build a watermill on both sides of a river. So like we have a watermill here, we can't build it here. Not off of this same bend in the river. We could, however, build a watermill on this tile off of this side here. Like you have to have a flat side to the river, and the flat, it can only affect one side, but we can watermill this because we can work off of this right here. Anyway, long story short, there's some somewhat weird rules about where you can and can't place watermills. If you played the game for a while, you get used to seeing where you can and can't put them. Alright, let's finish that. Okay, so Sandstorm's popped its borders. We've got 3 resource tiles, all good to work, and then we'll work this tile as well. Now this is a... normally I would do this, but I actually want the granary to finish faster. This is a relatively low food city, so we kind of need windmills, not not mines. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of food. There's no food well, there's this tile, but we're gonna mostly need windmills here. And that's because I definitely want to work this tile. This is a very, very good tile. We want to make sure we work this. So like I said, windmills, not watermills. You get the idea. As I start to repeat myself. What else here? What else? Probably improve this then. So I've rotated like every tile in the area now. While still waiting for the borders to expand. The watermills are going to become extremely good tiles as soon as state property, as soon as we hop into state property, and that's going to be next turn. So there we go. Just enough to finish it. Helps being in a golden age. All right, so Statue of Liberty is going to finish. That's going to be huge. I'm going to run through all my cities and assign what specialists I want. Very powerful wonder, given that everything's on one continent here. Alright, so like I said, I think we're going for railroad next. And then my workers are going to be super busy again, railroading across the continent. That's a good way to put it, not spam bot in the chat. State property, the way it functions, doesn't make a lot of sense, since communist collective farms were horribly inefficient. They weren't actually very good at producing food, but it's just one of those abstract things in this game. All right, so now we'll go ahead and start the factory here. We're actually about to get a great person here. Okay. Note that we're starting to lose, we're starting to starve already from unhealthiness, and it's only going to get worse when the coal plant gets finished. Oh, and I guess it's because this... Alright, so I'll do the aqueduct, then I'll do the coal plant here. Alright, Isengard Granary. Excellent. Now go on to your factory. So it's got to fill up the food box. Okay, this city did not come with a granary, so it's got to fill up the food box. This will be a very good city once once it gets all that stuff in place. A little bit dry, but pretty good. Well, maybe I could spread... We could spread irrigation up that way. Alright, so you... Oh, you can... Do I want the factory first or the levee? Probably the factory. I was going to say, could I spread irrigation up like here, 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 and then up that way? I'll have to give it a try. Oh! Look who we got! We got Speaker the Lionhearted! Oh! The Great Spy was Speaker the Lionhearted. I don't know if Speaker is still in the chat watching. That's awesome. We actually got Speaker as our great... actually got Speaker as our great spy. Also, apparently Judaism is spreading in some of my cities. There must be AI missionaries running around spreading it. That's pretty sweet. Alright, so the question is, what do we want to do with him? I guess we want to have him check out some of the enemy territory, I guess. But I don't really need to do that. Probably just keep him in reserve in case I ever go back to war. One of the big advantages of the Great Spies is they're basically spies that can never ever get caught. So you can have them run around in enemy territory. And like they'll never be detected. So they're really good if you're at war. You have them like a screen ahead of where your units are fighting, and you can have perfect visibility on like the units that are coming in. So yeah, I mean, we don't really have much of a use for this guy right now. I guess I could get 6 speakers and 12 great spy points per turn. Anyway, we'll keep him around for now. I doubt I will ever get enough great people to run the 4-person Golden Age, but you never know. Scotland Yard. That's right, they can construct Scotland Yard. I guess that's true. I don't really have any spy cities out of all of them. How you use... By GS, do you mean Great Spies, or do you mean... I'm assuming you mean Great Spy, not Great Scientist, which is also typically abbreviated GS. So for military campaigns, like I said, they're really good at providing perfect vision back behind enemy lines because they can never get caught. If you're using them domestically, ideally you either make them a super specialist or you use them to build Scotland Yard, which is like the espionage version of the Academy. Or you can use them for great Golden Ages as well. The other thing to do is if you want to run a spy economy, you can use them to infiltrate with an enemy civ and you get a ton of espionage points. I believe you get like 4,000 espionage points in a big boost in the same way you get like a big surge of culture if you get run like a culture bomb. So those are kind of the different ways you could get them. The AI loves to run espionage. They are like obsessed with espionage. So note how, unless you're running a very dedicated espionage economy, it's usually not worth it to do that stuff. It is cheaper to steal text than it is to research them. So you can run an espionage economy, and it is cheaper than researching the texts themselves. But it's a little weird, and obviously you can't ever get the text first if that happens, because, you know, in order to steal a tech, the AI has to already own the tech. So not really that useful in normal play, but it can be used for, I don't know, various variant stuff. Anyway, I might as well just hang out by Green River. Alright, so now that the granary is one turn away, I'm going to go back to high food, and then we'll pick up that tile after growing. And it's pretty much just going to grow onto high food tiles. Probably grow onto mostly these windmill tiles, which are quite good for a financial civ. Windmills are much better for financial civs than for non-financial civs. Chariots would have been nice if we could have built them at any point in time. I was having a lot of trouble with barb axes because I literally did not have the ability. I had no horses, so I could not build chariots to deal with barb axes. Wasn't great. Alright, so now that we've got that in place, now we're going to go for the coal plant. Once the coal plant is done, we'll knock out the grocer so that we don't continue starving. And I'm going to knock out all the overdue infrastructure after that. The observatory, the stock exchange, the stuff I was delaying because I was just building military units nonstop. I mean, I forgot, I really need to check what specialists a lot of these cities are working. Fortunately, most of them are working engineers, which I'm quite happy with. 3 beakers, 2 production, that's pretty good. Huh. Lymagrad already wrapping up with the coal plant. Or with the factory onto the coal plant. And then there's this city. Just use it for extra science. So here's where it actually would be worthwhile to whip for the factory. So I'll probably try to do that next turn. Because like the city's already stopped growing. I'm just going to be whipping off specialists. See if I can do that next turn. Alright, I'm mostly just checking to make sure the cities are not working spy specialists. Nope. And this is even a low production city, because it really can benefit from the engineer. Alright, that looks good. Yeah, we'll grow onto that tile next. So like Isengard, by the way, if you're wondering why I chopped out the... wanted to chop out the theater, and why it's also a good idea just to get a theater in like new cities, is then if you are running something like mercantilism, which grants you a free specialist in every city, or Statue of Liberty, you can then run artist specialists, and they're pretty good as far as, especially with representation. 4 beakers a turn, 4 culture per turn. This is a pretty useful specialist to run, and it'll also help me get up to 100 culture faster. If I can get up to 100 culture, I have a decent chance of getting control of some of those tiles back. Now here, all right, so we'll grow onto that watermill tile. And then probably onto that tile next. A levee would be really good here too. How much production would the levee add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, levee's probably better here, just because there's so many river tiles. All right, so we got the, what did we finish there? Granary? Yeah, because I wouldn't have built market for, or forge, well, whatever. Alright, so straight on to factory next. Get the factories done and then go on to infrastructure after that. And apparently we got another great artist. So we actually have a spare great artist. You know, with a spare great artist, I think we should make a play for this city, because we've got an extra great artist here, right? Like I have 2 great artists. Mark Twain. Let's see if we can get Mark Twain to take one of these. We'll make an attempt to flip this city. 1, 2, 3. I can put a city down right here. So let's see. Now we just need to get a settler over there. What's a city that's not doing anything terribly important? Lymagrad. You can build a settler super fast. We'll just make a play for it. We got a spare great artist. Like I said, I don't think I'll ever have enough great people to run the 4-person Golden Age. So we'll just take the extra great artist and use it to try to flip Bantanay Kide. Oh, right, I never forgot to revolt last turn. I didn't revolt last turn. All right, so here we go. State property, free speech. Still sticking with slavery until I'm forced into emancipation later on. And organized religion until the end of the Golden Age. At the tail end of the Golden Age, we'll go free religion. Let's do it. Oh boy, my cost just went down by a lot. My science output didn't really change that much. Oh, I should have stopped to check. Did any of you guys notice if the science output went up or down? It probably stayed roughly the same, and it should go up over time as more cottages mature into towns. Oh, by the way, here, look at this. This is a 10 commerce tile. All of my fully mature towns that are next to rivers are now 10 commerce tiles. It's too bad that there's not the double money bag symbol, because I would be getting double money bags on an awful lot of these tiles. And look at this. So even this really crummy desert hill tile is worth quite a bit of production. Oh, and Desert Oasis, I guess I'll let it finish the Security Bureau, just because why not? And then on to the factory from there. What a sweet city. The levee is... Well, no, actually, we need to do the factory before the Golden Age ends, because a lot of these tiles are going to drop production once the Golden Age ends. I want to get the factory done ASAP. All right, you might as well road that while you have the shot. Okay, what do we need to do in terms of changing it up here? 50% barbarian culture. Not too much. The city looks pretty darn good, but I think I might want another watermill somewhere. Probably, well, actually I might need the borders to expand, so I'd like to put a watermill on this tile here. I may actually need this. Or, here's what I can do. I cannot put a watermill on this tile, because see how it's at the curve of the river? What I could do, though, is I can farm that tile and watermill that tile. That's probably the way to go. Or actually, no, this is a brand new cottage. There's no, we can watermill this, because it's brand new. There's no production that's been invested into that yet. Did we manage to finish that? Or is that still under construction? All right, still under construction. Didn't have quite enough workers to finish it off that turn. All right, you guys can start farming and bringing farming up there to the north. The Legend of Shanty Pete is strong. Yeah, seriously. This city is a blight on my map right now. I really want to get rid of that. The city Oxford is pretty awesome. So again, state property watermills, just amazing tiles. 3 food. Okay, so I'm in a golden age. It does not have 3 production normally, but normally 3 food, 2 production, and 1 commerce. However, when I get up to electricity, which is not far away right now, then I get +1 commerce on windmill, which again will trigger the financial bonus on every tile. And I get +2 commerce on watermills. So they will be, since I'm financial, there'll be 3 food, 2 production, and 4 commerce. That's a really good tile. Anyway, so road that while you guys are there, and you might as well start cutting this down. Obviously on floodplain tiles, they're even better. They're 4 food on floodplains tiles. Pretty good stuff. All right, I think that's it for this turn. Yeah, too bad I didn't have 1 more worker. 5 was not quite enough. I think I needed 6 workers to finish that. After electricity, you get money bags on watermills in a golden age. You are correct. Unfortunately, I will not get it with this golden age. I'll be short in this golden age, at least. Oh, and you know what? I probably should have workshopped this tile, not cottaged it. That was probably a mistake, but oh well. So we finished the factory, right? Yep, factory. So now we, of course, have horrible unhealthiness. So we'll just make that worse by going for the coal plant. No, we're going to go coal plant, and then we'll pick up the grocer. But because the coal plant allows us to finish the grocer faster, it makes more sense to do the coal plant first. All right. Oh, we still don't have a granary here. Okay. That's right. We have literally no infrastructure here at all. Well, that's okay. This is going to be a good city in time. Just you wait. Green River will be a little slow to get started, but... Green River and Helm's Deep? Well, we got more of the mountains under our control at Helm's Deep. Alright, so just like that, yeah, that tile suddenly becomes awesome. That is a... Wait, that's a workshop tile, not a watermill, right? Yeah. It'd be better to have a watermill on this tile, not a workshop. And then that... Oh, well, never mind. How about we do both? We'll put a watermill on this tile. And we'll just keep both. That'll give this city some actual production. Alright, did we erode this tile to get off of it faster? Alright, so yeah, again, I've pretty much improved all the tiles in this area. I'm mostly just waiting around for railroads, which are, again, are not far off at all. But what I can do is I can road these tiles so that I don't have to waste turns moving on to them when railroad tech is discovered. So that was, obviously I wasted that worker's move. In an ideal world, I would have moved here onto this tile, mined it, and then canceled the mining action to avoid wasting the turn. But we're like so late into the game at this point, it's not that critical. And that's a really lousy desert hill tile anyway. How about you just hang out here? Probably should have a couple more units in Sandstorm just for safety's sake. Just because it is a border city. For the time being, at least. So I'm just going to shift a couple units over there. There we go. Wait, why is there a catapult sitting... Oh no, those aren't mine. Those are Hammurabi. I was like, why are there catapults right outside the city? Oh wait, they're not mine. Unfortunately, Hammurabi has one city over here, so he's going to keep shuffling units back and forth to his city in annoying fashion. Green River's working as citizen specialist. Well, the problem is Green River has no specialists yet. See? There's no specialist here. It has no choice, unfortunately, because it has literally no infrastructure, so there's nothing I can do about that. It's a shame, but I can't do anything. So normally that would be a sign, hey, why don't you do like a theater specialist so you can at least, or theater so you can at least work like a artist, but I need to get the granary done first, because the granary is more important. So like at least this city can work the engineer specialist. All right, so we want to pop borders here. Let's do that first. Put the overflow into the factory. It's not going to open up too many more tiles, but we can unlock some of them. Like this should be water milled. I mentioned I'm going to water mill this and shift the farm up to this tile. So these workers are actually have a lot to do right now. I've got 5 of them, but I should probably shift this guy over there too, because he's not really doing anything too important. I don't need to build more windmills here. I already have enough windmills, so I'll probably finish that and then shift them over here, because there's more work to be done.
Before that steam drill shall beat me down, I'll die with my hammer in my hand.
All right. Going to take 3 turns to get to railroad, because we're going to have to run 0% science for a turn. All right, now look how incredibly unhealthy this is. We have... how much unhealthiness do we have? We get 4 unhealthiness from the power. So it's always a little bit confusing how factories work. So let me just take a second to explain what that looks like. So factories themselves provide plus 25%. It's the same thing as what you get from a forge. And then you get another 50% from power. The factory itself does not provide power. You need some kind of power plant to get power. The most common way to get that is coal. So the coal plant provides power at the cost of 2 unhealthiness. And of course the factory also provides 2 unhealthiness from coal and oil. So these buildings together produce a lot of unhealthiness, and you need a ton of health resources to compensate for that. Fortunately, we can do stuff like build the grocer, and we can one-turn the grocer because we now get a ridiculous amount of production. 53 base production, plus 50% from buildings, plus 50% from power, plus 10% from civics, that's the global, plus 10% from state property, and then organized religion. So yeah, we can one-turn the grocer, no problem. The grocer is going to give us... Fortunately, we have a lot of the grocer. We have bananas, yes. We have spices, yes. We have sugar, yes. We don't have... And we have wine, so we get plus 4 health from it. So thanks to having so many grocer resources, we should be okay in terms of the unhealthiness. And we actually can one-turn that coal plant with the overflow. Alright, so you guys are going to finish that farm. Note how this is a poor tile, just 2 food, 2 production. But we aren't too far away from biology, which will make the farms much more viable as tiles. Got a lot of border expansions too. There we go. Gives into the line a few more tiles to work. But can you see how the organized religion bonus becomes less and less significant? Once you have factories and you're getting like plus 100% production, that 25% is not that valuable anymore. So that's why it becomes less useful as the game goes on. Also, this tile is not roaded. Should road that tile as we farm north. I do not know if I can spread irrigation through Isengard. It is on a desert tile, but I'm going to try. I honestly can't remember if that works or not. Alright, so you guys finish this. Did they finish it? Okay, nice. So remember how this city had really crummy production? All of a sudden, it's pretty good. Granted, again, I'm in a golden age, so not the fairest comparison. But once you get to the late game, you can basically make any territory quite strong in like late game Civ 4. So yeah, we're gonna need to get a theater next, and then I want to work the artist specialist because I want to try to get control of some more of these tiles. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'd sure like to try. I don't know if I'll be able to get any of India's tiles. This one I might have a shot though. Yeah, Hammurabi only has 64 culture on this tile. I can probably get control of this. I don't know about much more beyond that, but we'll see. All right, so we need to watermill this tile here. I just barely come up short of being able to move there. Here, it's probably too late in the game for a cottage to be too worthwhile, so I'm just going to workshop this tile. Another high production tile. And then you guys, I want to come over here. You guys chill here. So now that end of the line is expanded borders, let's take a look at it. Oh boy, I think I can find a tile that's better to work than that. Looks like I'm going to need to workshop that tile too. Just for the time being, let's do this. Even though I don't like having such low food output, only +3 food, let's work the 4 production, 2 commerce tile over the 2 food, no production, no commerce tile, just because that's such a bad tile. Clement for the slaving bonus, I mean, yes, but the only thing is I'm probably not going to be using much slavery. Still, I should still probably build the Kremlin. At this point, I'm pretty much just trying to research through the tech tree to finish the game out. Unfortunately, I am researching at a pretty fast rate. All right, so note that now the unhealthiness is under control. We're down to just -2. So now I can one-turn the observatory. And again, if you're wondering why I waited so long, like why I neglected infrastructure here, I wanted to just do units while I was engaged in combat. And I knew that once I got to factories, I could backtrack and pick up all the delayed infrastructure. I'll use the city to just knock out everything. We'll do observatory next because we're researching. Then we'll probably do the stock exchange. And then I'll get all of the spy buildings here just so I can keep pace there. And yes, note that Lion was starving, but the grocer will fix that, fortunately. I'm going to abstain between the two. Well, hold on. I don't really care between the two of them. No, Kathy's going to hate it if I vote against her, so I'm just going to abstain. So same thing over here. I'm trying to build roads on tiles, so when railroad finish, well, just move on there for right now. It's going to take a little while to connect my whole territory with railroads. But I've got a lot of workers who don't have a ton to do, or they won't. They've just about finished replacing tile improvements at these captured cities. And once they do that, they can be on serious railroads across England campaign duty. In an ideal, like perfectly played game, I would be getting out more workers right now to handle the railroading duties. But this game's more in like a relaxed state right now. Did they actually finish that, or? Yes, they did. Look at that tile. Ooh, 4 food, 3 production, 2 commerce. Not bad. Not bad. Because like I'm not going to bulldoze the cottages that do exist. Like this one's already a village. I'm not going to get rid of that. But the tiles that are like brand new, like this cottage has 3 turns working it. I'm very content to like bulldoze that and replace it with a watermill. In the meantime, though, we're going to workshop this tile, since end of the line would prefer to work that over the tile that it does have. And no, I'm not looking to like exploit fail gold right now either. There we go. So now I'm going to pick up that workshop tile, and then I'll grab that one next. How's Sydney on Sea doing? Is it being smart about what tiles it's picking up? Yep, it's grabbed all the tiles it should. Gonna grow in 2 turns. It's getting... We'll be mostly done with its factory by the time that the Golden Age is finished. So that all looks good there. Now we're trying to see if we can spread irrigation up past Isengard. What's a better generation of gold, putting hammers in Wonder or direct gold research? You get a better conversion rate if you put it in Wonders with the doubling resource, if you're able to do that. Jeez, we're making a lot of money here. Some of these cities over here, like Twin Peaks, this area will be able to benefit from more worker labor. This city also would benefit hugely from biology. Get these farms up to 4 food each, then it'll actually have enough production to work all the tiles in the area. How's Helm's Deep doing? Let's work that tile just to get the factory done faster. That'll speed up all the future infrastructure if that factory gets done a little bit sooner. This looks good. Working all the land tiles, growing onto the water tiles. Not much more to say there. Yeah, most of these cities look good. Like they're working the tiles they should be working. AI, the automation's not being stupid about this. This tile here should... I was going to say this tile here should probably be watermilled. Maybe. Or maybe as a biology farm. We'll see. So we'll finish railroad next turn. A lot of these cities... And of course, once all the infrastructure is done, you can put cities like on wealth and then just run 100% science the whole time. I'm obviously not anywhere close to that yet. Some of these wonder times get like dropped down to nothing. West Point, 5 turns with the stone. Kremlin, 5 turns. Obviously, it's worthwhile to build the Kremlin because it'll only take 5 turns. All right, what do we have next? Let's find on happiness. Stock exchange next. Only 2 turns. Alright, yeah, you're starving. Quit your belly aching. We'll finish the grocer and then you won't be starving anymore. So Kathy is the winner of the AP election. Wynakopek does have rifling now. You can see because he's got that. So Desert Oasis. Where is Desert Oasis? Over here. Still wants to do that security bureau, but I actually wanted to get the coal plant done before the Golden Age runs out. Now, this city really does have a health issue. Well, I can build the aqueduct. But there is the problem of this city is going to be running into serious food problems. I'm trying to think why this city... Oh, is it because of the floodplains cause unhealthiness? Yeah, it's because of the floodplains. Okay. That's the problem, is the floodplains. Because we can build the aqueduct, but that's it. We're going to need to get to... Well, we're not too far away from supermarkets and hospitals. Like, we'll be able to get to hospitals eventually. And that'll solve that issue. Anyway. So, let's turn research back on. Railroad due next turn. They did finish that watermill, right? Yes, yes they did. Just thinking about what I want to do here. All right. So let's farm this and watermill that. Fishy McFishy finally has some security against attack. I'm just going to wait for next turn and railroad that. Similar story here. Wait for next turn and start railroading. You want to try to run your rails through mines and lumber mills because you get a production bonus on mines and lumber mills when you build railroads. By the way, where's that great artist? The one that's moving? Here he is. All right, so the great artist is still a couple turns away. The settler is actually going to be in place first before the great artist. That's okay, though. So I already improved all the tiles down here. Out of moves. Okay, well, let's use one of these guys to check and see. Oh, we can. Yay! We actually can spread irrigation. So it will pass through Isengard. Even though Isengard's on a desert tile, irrigation will pass through. And that's really good news for the Shire, which will actually be able to function as a city because it'll have food. All right, now watermill this tile. Oh, wait, I can't watermill it? I should be able to watermill this tile. Why not? This watermill's... I guess the watermill's interpreted as functioning on this side. I should be able to watermill this tile. That's unfortunate. Well, these cities are both relatively low food, so... Well, this city's not. That's too bad. I thought that this tile would be able to watermill. Oh, well. This city probably does need this farm, but Green River is going to have more food than it strictly needs. That's too bad. Can I workshop? Well, you know what? I could workshop the tile. I don't need a farm on this tile, so we'll workshop it then. Weird to build a workshop next to a river, but I can do it. Just kind of unusual, that's all. Alright, so I want to finish that farm, and then I'm going to be using these guys for railroads after that. Can get a watermill on that tile. Wouldn't let me. It depends on what order you do it. Okay, I see what you're saying. So if I were to get rid of this watermill, if I were to get rid of this one, build this one, then I'd be able to build that one. Okay. Culture bomb. Well, we're actually gonna put a city on this tile and culture bomb this tile to try to get control over this one. Douglas, that was my experience as well. It can be really finicky sometimes. That the game can just be super finicky sometimes.
I fooled you. I fooled you. I got pig iron. I got pig iron. I got all pig iron.
I love that. I fooled you. I got pig iron. I got all pig iron. All right. Let's do the levee here. The issue is if I build the coal plant here, this city's going to start starving. There we go. There's not enough food to support this city with the coal plant, unfortunately. So I might hold... Well, we'll see. I might hold off for a couple turns at least. I'm going for biology, which will increase food in a lot of these cities. Anyway, so we stopped the starving here. So this is a production city. This is not a commerce city. I might not be a bad idea just to knock out Pentagon here, because this city doesn't have much else to build. Like, stock exchange is kind of pointless. Look how little... There's very little money coming out here. That said, even though there's very little commerce, it's like, if you can build the library in one turn, shouldn't you build it in one turn? It's like kind of the counter argument. Anyway, I think I'll use this city for intelligence agents. Do jail, intelligence agency, security bureau. They're pretty cheap to build. Same thing here. Apparently this city actually does not need the grocer for health, so we'll do the same thing. Knock out the espionage buildings, just because we can. All right, granary first. Now we need that theater, which fortunately is a cheap build. We've got double citizen specialists. I literally can't work any more tiles. Kid found mining ink, but see, we're pretty wedded to state property here. So we can now build railroads. Hold on, I wanted to do this big mining operation first. All right, so we finished that. Honestly, that's probably okay, as opposed to like tearing up all the tile improvements. How are we doing here? Well, we're not making much progress yet on this cattle tile, but I think we will in time. Obviously, it doesn't help that we have very little culture coming out of some of these cities yet so far. This got no culture at all coming out of here yet. After I build the factory, I've got to get a theater out. All right, let's start getting rails across England. That's who we are. Usually you can pair them up into groups of 2, but floodplains tiles take 2 turns. Or they take three turns, excuse me. So it takes a little bit longer. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, so the Shire. Yeah, it's still not worthwhile working that tile until after biology finishes. And we'll probably need to chop this down so we can farm these 3 tiles and this tile. We can always workshop them later if we need to. All right, 2 guys here. Let's start railroading. Gonna take us probably 25 turns to get railroads built all the way across our territory, but we're getting there. All right, stock exchange, to the market next. Just keep one turning all these things. Jail onto intelligence agency. All right, so now you're not starving anymore, Gibraltar. That's the first thing to get done. How about you knock out a harbor, both for the increased trade route yield and for your health issues. All right. This city's looking great. The coal plant's just 4 turns. That's really impressive. All right, so we finished the factory here. Same thing, do the coal plant next. This looks pretty, yeah, only 4 turns. Now again, we're going to be out of Golden Age after this turn, so it will slow down. So Desert Oasis now is starving pretty badly. -8 health. So we definitely need the aqueduct. And I might need to swap this tile over to Desert Oasis. Hill of Swords. I'm sorry to take this tile away from you, but I'm going to need it for Desert Oasis, which is just a better city. There we go. So with the aqueduct and with that tile, the starvation should be under control. It'll still be starving, but it'll only be losing 2 food per turn, and that gives me enough time to research up to... Well, I'm going to have biology. Do I have any tiles that boost food here? No. Okay, so that won't help that city. It will help some other cities. I can still go on to medicine next and get a hospital, the +3 health. So that'll be good enough. Yes, I know. Thanks for the reminder. I was thinking about that, but yes, we'll go ahead and do that right now. Just go ahead and do it now so I don't forget about it. So let's go ahead and see how that's improved relations with everybody. All right, so pleased with Gilgamesh, pleased with Kathy, pleased with Ahsoka, cautious. See if we can get any more trades. Again, it's a pretty happy world. Look at all these loving faces here. A lot of them like each other. Now, the good news is Ahsoka has dropped his his hereditary rule. So they're just pleased with him, which means they won't vote for Ahsoka right now in the UN, not for a Diplo victory, and that's key. I plan to build the UN and just bury the Diplo vote so that we'll never see it. But that's still pretty useful to know. All right, so all that's good. Six turns. All right, we'll have two. All right, that'll finish next turn just as biology finishes. All right, and oh, we're over to rail building now. Can't quite build the oil well just yet, and in fact we probably shouldn't build the oil because that will cause, if you look at factories, you get +2 on healthiness from oil, so we probably shouldn't connect our oil just yet, not until we're ready to build stuff that requires oil. So I think I'll hold off on actually connecting the oil for a little bit. In terms of this stream, I'm going to play up until when we detonate this culture bomb, and then I'll use that as the ending point for today's stream. All right. So we need a name. Oh, but by the way, we need a name for this. AP Diplo. Yeah, I suppose AP Diplo is a possible risk. There's not a whole lot I can do about that, though. How about a name that's not Lord of the Rings focused? Flipper City. Let's just go with Flipper. I don't know why. Apparently Caps Locks was on. Yeah, I am somewhat concerned about the possibility of AP Cheese religious victory, and like I said, there's not a ton I can do about that. Gonna try to pop the borders first, naturally. City of Gold. Flipper works for me. Oh yeah, I can chop into the... I can chop to finish the theater. I don't have enough workers to finish a chop this turn. I can do it next turn. Where is that great artist, by the way? Oh, here he is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he can get in there next turn. So it's going to be an end to our Golden Age. We're at 2,500 beakers per turn in the Golden Age. How expensive are these late game techs? 12,000. All right, so we really have to get up to like 4,000 beakers per turn in order to knock these out in a timely fashion. So we still got a ways to go. There is still another, like the laboratory will help. That's the last building that provides plus beakers, plus 25%. So that'll probably be the next immediate goal. You tend to emphasize the top side of the tree if you're looking for more military stuff, and you can more go for superconductors if you're looking for just pure research. So I think that's where we'll be heading. We want to pick up electricity next. We can skip military science. I believe military science is not required to launch the spaceship, so we'll probably skip that, just like we skipped divine right. I'm going for medicine right now because I'm gonna need the health in a couple cities from hospitals, but after that, physics, electricity. I do want to get some airships because airships are pretty great. Really good scouting units.
It is not the strongest of the species that survive, but the one most responsive to change.
And of course, medicine is required to launch the spaceship. It might not look like it, but you need it for genetics. So it is a mandatory attack. We're not wasting anything by going there. All right. Finally build the stable. No, see, the thing is, by the time I train military units out of here, it'll probably, might not even be building horse units at that point in time. That said, this would be a good city to do West Point in. So I think I'll just do West Point. I don't think I really need the courthouse, jail, blah, blah, blah. So we'll just do West Point here. That would give me +8 XP. So everything would be at least 3 promotions. This is probably going to be a spaceship win, just because I'm not really going for culture. My relations are not good enough with the civs to have a realistic chance of diplomacy. And I definitely do not want to invest the many, many, many hours required to go through and win by domination. All right, so since there's no military units that I need to build right now, we'll just go for intelligence agency, get some more of those espionage points. All right, now we've solved the health issues here. We also get more trade route income, so that's nice. And I guess we could do the customs house. Why not? Got a lot of foreign trade route income coming in. So now with the biology farm, we get a little bit of additional food. Well, I need to find a city that has actual farms. This city here, Twin Peaks, probably benefited more than anything else because this city has no food bonuses, but now these farms go to 4 food instead of 3 food, and so now it can actually grow onto all these tiles. Again, in extreme late game, basically any territory becomes worth settling. There's really no bad territory in the Civ 4 late game. Sadly, the Golden Age did come to an end, though. Alright, so it looks like the Shire is now... And the Shire is another city that's going to help a ton. Well, we can't see it because that tree icon is still over it. Come on, disappear. There we go. And let's grab this. Alright, so now finally the city has food, which is the thing it desperately needed. It did not have food, like, at all. And I'm going to farm this tile, too. It probably... probably workshop that tile up there for a little bit more production. All right, here we go. So here we are at Culture Flipper. We're going to use this for a culture work. For whatever reason, I can't remember the exact math, but if you turn turn culture up to 100%, you get slightly more benefit from this, from what I remember. So let's go ahead and do this. Not join the city as a super specialist. Not discover divine right. Create great work. Yeah, we need 3 different types. I guess we do have 3 different types, don't we? Yeah, we've got Great Spy, Great Merchant. Yeah, so we could create another Golden Age, but I think we'll save that. Usually you save a last Golden Age for when you're building the actual spaceship parts. All right, let's try it. There we go. Oh, that city's probably not going to flip. Not with that large of a... Yeah, not with that garrison, it's not going to flip. That said, though, we've now regained control of all these tiles, and that's going to help Green River and... Well, I guess it's only going to help Green River, but... Or not really. Still, we can work these tiles, and now Flipper is like a decent city instead of a junk city. So that's a nice plus. Plus, I even have Forest to chop to get like this theater done. Let's chop that then. So basically, we get at least 1 good city out of this. Oh, I thought that would actually be enough to finish it. Oh well. No worries. I'm still going to chop and finish that, so then I can work the Artist Specialist. Also, we might want to go back to 100% Science instead of 100% Culture, just for funsies. I'll have to think about how I want to build this city, but probably 2 farms up here. Yeah, probably 2 farms up here. Also, this tile should go back over to end of the line, which is a better city. Like 2 farms, and then I'll just build over here. Take these tiles. This is never going to be a great city, but hey, at least it's something, right? And now I have a straight through route here. Now, if he ever did move, actually, I don't even have cultural dominance on this tile. Apparently, Sipar's culture was reaching that tile. Yeah, Sipar, see here, 20% borders, 40%, 60%. The 60% borders are here, here, here. However, Sipar's culture does not reach onto these tiles. So I actually have cultural control. I'm going to need to get quite a bit of culture in Flipper, though, to maintain control. I might lose these tiles, so I'm going to have to continue putting a lot of culture on those tiles. Thus the desire for a theater. This city can help, too, if it expands its borders. Well, it can help on this tile if it expands its borders. It's not going to help over there. Anyway, getting too far afield. Let's go over here and finish chopping that theater. So we can at least work an artist specialist there. There we go. And then we'll work on granary next. And then we're going to continue building the railroads to the east. Useful for military purposes. It'll take a while, obviously, to connect the whole empire together. Oh, you know what? We're at turn 249, so I'm going to do the one more turn thing and play to turn 250, because that's an even better stopping point. Anyway, welcome, Crownar. I'm sorry I didn't see you in the chat a minute ago. All right, Limograd finished its... Wait, factory and... Oh, that's right. It's done. Oh, courthouse, jail, intelligence agency. Get the security bureau. You don't need to build these in every single city, but might as well get them in some cities. I pretty much have like doubled my entire espionage outpoint for the whole civ just as a result of building all of these. So I think I was at around like 40 or 50 total espionage points prior to that. Enemy is at Sandstorm? Oh, do we have a barbarian unit that popped up? Looks like we got a barb unit. All right, Green River. So note that with the double, see, this is why the theater specialist theater is so crucial. Note that with double artists, now I'm getting 28 culture per turn. Not bad. So we'll go do the forge next. Obviously, granary is the next build. Up to 20 million people. Oh, here. Oh, okay. Oh, man. We're going to keep getting that notification every turn, too, aren't we? Gibraltar. Oh, Gibraltar expanded its borders. Nice. Again, it's too bad that Babylon was literally right there. Otherwise, that would have been a nice city. The Barb 1 that we captured. Anyway. Okay. Oh, wait. Why are you building a farm there? I don't want you to build a farm on that tile. I think I got confused. One too many people on that tile. Why don't you road this mine? Or railroad this mine tile? Since I do get a production bonus for that. And I haven't been paying attention to Sandstorm recently. Let me make sure that there's no tiles that this city needs. Looks good for the moment. Again, this is a city that'll really benefit from getting into electricity, so it gets the... it'll get +1 commerce on all these windmills, and then it will trigger the... also, let's work that tile. It'll trigger the financial bonus. Let's run this through here. I'll keep some workers down in that area for those newish cities. You guys might as well polish off this mine while you're here. So biology really helps cities that are plains heavy because you can turn the plains tiles into 3 food tiles. Makes them much, much, much better. But yeah, most of these workers are on railroad duty, at least enough until we can get the empire connected together for an emergency. You need that rail net connecting your cities so you can move quickly from place to place. We've got it around some part of the map. I'm really annoyed I'm going to get a barb notification on like every single turn because of the stupid stupid guys there. So since we're getting ready to stop, let's do a quick Diplo check with everybody. Do I actually have pigs at all? Now, he won't trade me them, but could you spare this for a good friend? Thanks, buddy. Yeah, he's got quite a few cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he has 14, including his capital. I have a lot more, but he's been keeping pace at a decent rate. He's actually close to friendly with me at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's at +6. So how are we doing with espionage points now? I still don't even have enough to see Huayna demos. The AI just is obsessed with espionage. I can't see Hammurabi's demos either. Crazy. I can barely see them with Ahsoka. I need to finish popping out these Security Bureau as intelligence agencies. We have pigs at victory. Okay. Thank you for the reminder. Wait, do I not have silks? I thought I had silks. Hold on. Do I not have silks? No, apparently I don't. Well, we might as well trade for them then. Cower before... Did you see what he said? He said cower before the might of 9 knights. Yeah, sure, buddy. Here. Oh, we're actually trading a decent number of resources. He's trading me silks and wines. Alright. Just keeping an updated map. She still doesn't like me enough. Even though she's pleased, we all know Kathy is really hard to stay on good terms with. If I could get her to friendly, I could actually have her attack another AI without me even being at war. Because she's Kathy. She's like the only AI that will do that. Even sign a defensive pact, but I don't want to be pulled into her wars. I already have deer and sheep. He won't trade me his world map either. Because he's just cautious. At least Gilgamesh is pleased. Let me see if he'll give it to me for free. He wouldn't. What was that? Just ran up and hit us, apparently. Alright. Yeah, now he doesn't have anything we want. See, he kind of stopped expanding at a relatively early date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He only has 11 cities, which is not that many. Alright. I was just asking if he would slip into slavery to be silly. Alright, so let's see what we got. So this is the overview map. You want to see, we've got a pretty good map of the whole world at this point. It's unfortunate that India and Babylon have such similar colors. It's a little tricky to see who's who. So yeah, they're roughly the same size. India's a little bit larger. Kathy's got a fair amount of territory, but her cities are very small because she's in pretty marginal territory, lots of tundra. And then Wynakopek is very little territory, but he's been the tech leader amongst the AIs like the entire game. And there's Gilgamesh. 2 barb cities up there, yeah. So 2 barb cities, very inaccessible. This one here, Harappa, will probably get captured. I don't know if Phrygian will ever get captured. It's almost completely inaccessible. They'd have to build a city on the water here. And actually, these are not even... Actually, I don't know if you can ever reach this. Maybe with paratroopers they can do it. These cities are not viable locations because they're only 2 tiles from Phrygian. So yeah, that would be extraordinarily difficult to get to. Paratroopers, yeah, probably the only way. Let's just look at the demos real quick. At 100% research, the bar graphs I can't even use because I barely can see anyone's demos. They're so espionage obsessed. So now I have finally opened up a decisive lead in GNP. It was close for a while, but like at this point I've decisively pulled away. Similarly, I have a huge production lead and a massive food lead. I'm actually no longer #1 in soldiers. Someone's been cranking out the military. Obviously, I could upgrade my military into infantry really easily. I will probably start building some more units when I get up to tanks. I'm probably going to have Endeavor build all of its infrastructure right now, and then after it's done all its infrastructure, I'll put it back on military, and that should be right around the time I unlock tanks, and I'll probably just build tanks for a while until I have enough of them. Also, I need to get some bombers, too. My other military cities... Excuse me, I got a couple military cities. Twin Peaks is a military city. Laimagrad is a military city. Terra is a military city. These cities can pump out some planes once they're available. Get some fighters and some bombers. I'm not too far away from unlocking them. The AI does not really know how to use air power, and that's one of its weaknesses. Ahsoka is definitely the second place civ in the game. He just has the most territory. Like, if you look at the various different metrics, Ahsoka's second in score. He's second in terms of land area. Wynakopek has 1 legendary city, but he has none others. So, like, there's not much threat for him to win by culture. I would probably notice if he started running the culture slider. Like, he only has 1 city. And in terms of the tech race, let's look at what techs they have just real quickly. Wynakopek looks like he's pretty clearly the tech leader amongst the AI civs because he can research steam power. He does need to get astronomy, but like he has rifling tech. He has democracy tech. He's much further along. Like Gilgamesh doesn't even have gunpowder yet. Where else is he? Democracy, liberalism. Looks like he does have rifling, though, based on what I'm seeing here. Kathy's pretty far behind in tech, too. Although Hammurabi is probably the furthest behind. He's missing banking, education, astronomy, and gunpowder. He is really far behind in tech. Ahsoka is reasonably far along, too. He's like late Renaissance, early industrial. So I'd say Ahsoka and Wynakopek are the furthest along in tech. Am I going to plant the last couple cities? Probably not at this point. Like, I'm not sure that it's really worthwhile to do so. They're very marginal locations. Like, if we look at... They have no food bonuses at all. So imagine being like Flipper, but with even weaker terrain. Like, you could make a case for this spot, but, you know, it would be working, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles? I'm just not sure that it's really necessary, to be honest. In an ideal world, yes, but probably not needed. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop here. This was a nice session. We managed to finish off Suryavarman, finish off factories, and now we're just kind of cruising into... We're in, like, mid-industrial, getting ready to head into the... into the late game as we enter into the modern era. So we have definitely will need a couple more streams to finish this one off, but we're just going to continue the leisurely pace, no real rush, hopefully get through some more of the industrial era techs, and go from there. So hope you guys are enjoying it. This will be uploaded to YouTube at some point later tonight, and I will see you guys on Friday. Until then, have a great work week, or whatever you guys might be doing, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a good one. Take care. See you guys soon.